Many years ago, I started my music career in a pavement-pounding rock and roll band with 5 friends, traveling hard for 5 years in a broken-down Winnebago Brave with a trailer behind it. We had cut our teeth at a music scene that was both celebrated and derided as the hippie jam band scene, but our musical identity was pretty muddled. We called it Northern rock, not as the reactionary antithesis of Southern rock, but more as a semi-ironic acknowledgement of the influence of the Allman Brothers on our music. However, tinged in the Pacific Northwest by the shadow of the Seattle grunge scene and Portland hipsterism, for what it's worth. But we had a mystique that kind of got going by accident. We sometimes wore cowboy hats or cowboy boots. We had giant beards, long hair. One of the band members had this beautiful look with, he had long black hair. He was sometimes mistaken for Native American. And the name of the band was the Renegade Saints. That word renegade really enhanced our Western mystique, so much so that the record label really wanted us to run with it. And they once sent us on an errand to the Deep South, where we played the infamous or famous Elizabeth Reed Memorial Music Hall to an empty crowd, and that gig was cut short by a dance floor brawl that included all the patrons and emptied the place out completely. We weren't really Western dudes. We were west of the Cascades guys who grew up listening to the radio in the suburbs, to music that's now pretty much considered classic rock. But nevertheless, we traveled hard through a lot of rural areas. In those days, you traveled anywhere you could, far and wide, and especially the mountain states. And this would take you through places like Billings, Montana, Burns, Oregon, any town in Idaho, on your way to ski resorts and college towns. We played for everybody, the acid heads, the bikers, the cowboys, and certain people expected certain kinds of music when they went out. Well, after that was all done, we were exhausted by trying to please everyone everywhere. We packed it in, and I went solo. And by myself, I got back on that horse, and I went back out there to play those same areas, the same stages, and if I was lucky, the same people. And when I go out there, I'm self-aware. I have a sense of humor about things. I know what I look like. I play music to unite, not to divide, and I've got a sense of humor about the subcultural boundaries I'm trying to cross and blur. But I'm out there on their literal stomping ground, and I know that I've kind of come across as a latte drinking, Birkenstock wearing, Prius driving Northwest liberal, playing my Americana music, which is basically country music without the twang. But you get on the road and you get tired and irritable. And sometimes I just want to say, hey, cowboy, my coffee tastes good, my shoes comfortable, and I get 52 miles to the gallon. And I'm going to tell you that story in a song. I'm never going to play this town again. The local population doesn't understand. It's like going to a different land. They got hearts made of leather and their minds made up. They take their words like their drink straight up. One slip of the tongue, now I'm all laid up. John Barrett told me to keep things light. He sure did. In retrospect, he was right. But I don't ever change my act for no one. In a sea of patriotic, homicidal tattoos, those were my first clues. Yeah, it was that and too much booze. They descended on me like an army of Honky Tonk Romans. I came here by invite to offer some insight, but all they wanted to do was dance. cowboy boots, cowboy hats, American roots. Yup, I expected that. But nobody was looking up at where I sat and played my guitar. Oh, I was singing just like a bird, but nobody heard my beautiful words. I never looked and sounded so absurd. And then somebody chalking his cue in the back of the bar. He looked alarmed. I guess I must have taken things too far. Everything after that is just a blur of violence. They said, we don't like the way you talk. We're gonna toss your ass through the jukebox. 'Cause all we wanna do on a Friday night is blow off steam. So please don't you make fun of our American dream. Now I've entertained kids of every age. I ain't never been thrown off of any stage. I always leave them screaming and clapping for more. But these folks can be forgiven, 'cause they worked hard for a living, and they paid me the guarantee and half of the door.